they talking real loud. Spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Popping can is swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Popping can is swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Popping can is swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream.
All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's see who is in here. All right, everybody hit that like button. I see you, Pearly, Claudette, Buckhorse DC, Andrew is here, Nessa G. All right, let's get into it. Panther Strike, Cookie, Gwendolyn. All right, Deronda, Star Child. Okay, so shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. I see you, Desmond, Diddy in Dallas, Most Hated Bronze Flat Power God. Shout out to my moderators putting in work. Okay, Lenora X is here, Queen Sam. All right, let's get into it. Everyone hit the like button, and also don't forget that if you have not been receiving your notifications, please double check to make sure that you're still subscribed to the channel. Now, before we get started with the receipts, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so with that all been said, don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes oil for your hair at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, so let's get into it. Let me ask you all something. Um, Let me ask you all something. Does anyone in here all of a sudden, since the trial is getting near, feel sad for Diddy? Anybody in here all of a sudden find yourself feeling a little bit sad for Diddy? Don't be afraid to tell us how you really feel. And guess what? It looks like there's some, hold on. What's going on here? Hold on. Okay, so this just popped up 12 minutes ago. Hold on, let me send this to my email. I'm still gathering receipts, y'all. See, this is why I be late. I be trying to tell y'all. Y'all don't want to listen to the queen. Y'all think I just be saying anything. No, sometimes more receipts pop up, okay? Now, let me see if y'all put ones in the chat, because I know some of y'all are lying. Let me see here. Nobody feels sorry for Diddy. Jamon said, not a lick. Y'all are something else. Now, the reason I asked is, hold on, I'm going to tell y'all why in a second. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so I just got word that victim 3, is it victim 3? Doesn't want to be anonymous. Hold on. Hold on, you all. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Okay, I'm gonna have to look for it in a minute, honey. I don't want to waste too much time. Okay, but so let's get into it. So you all are saying the hell no, nobody's feeling sorry for Diddy. Now the reason I asked is because as I was getting my stuff together, I saw a YouTuber, and it's funny, but I saw a YouTuber who said that she was feeling emotional about Diddy. Now this person's been going in on Diddy hard in the paint. Then all of a sudden, she said she felt sorry for Diddy. And I thought it was really interesting. Because you know why? Hold on. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to put an overlay up and let y'all hear what she said. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Capacity because of consuming some type of substance. Now that is
Hold on.
going to continue to go even after the trial actually starts. So make sure that you are Wednesday, and jury selection does start next week. I will be keeping up with the case as I do, and that's all I have for this one. In the meantime, facts ain't definite. There's other stuff that they are arguing. Are alleged victims. They've got
trying to find the timestamp. Hold on, beloved.
People to come sit on back and forth over coercive. Wants him to act out, redact. Okay, but I'm a little.
Okay, I'm so sorry. This is so ghetto. I'm sitting up here. I should have found the timestamp first. But with that all being said, I'll find it in a second. So let's talk about what's going on with Diddy, because right now Diddy had made a request to the judge, and the judge has gone ahead and decided to grant Diddy his request. Okay, so what he wanted was to not have to come and sit in the trial, basically dressed in prison clothes or jail clothes. He wanted to be able to come in there and wear a nice suit, and a tie or whatever, so he doesn't look like the criminal that he probably is. Okay, so that have been said, they sent a letter to the judge. Dear Judge Subramanian, enclosed please find a proposed order permitting defendant Sean Combs to receive non-prison clothing at the MDC for his trial scheduled to begin on May the 5th of 2025. Now, with that all being said, Buckhorn said the craziest part, y'all bed wenches were there. Buckhorst DC, please sit down. Please don't start calling people names, talking about bed wenches. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, he asked if he was able to wear regular clothes. Okay, and so the judge has granted him the order. Now, the judge was very specific. Okay, so here's what it says. I'm going to share this on the screen, actually. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, here we go. Okay, so as you can see this, now here's what the judge said. Upon the application of Teeny R. Garagos, attorney for defendant Sean Combs, it is hereby ordered that the defendant Sean Combs, inmate, and he's got his inmate number, will be permitted to receive non-prison clothing at the MDC to wear for his trial, scheduled to begin on May the 5th of 2025. He is permitted to have up to 5 button-down shirts, up to 5 pairs of pants, up to 5 sweaters, up to 5 pairs of socks, and up to 2 pairs of shoes without laces to wear to court. Okay, 2 pairs of shoes without laces to wear to court. So you all hear that, right? Panther Strike says he wants to paint the picture of being an upstanding citizen and businessman. Really? Well, Panther Strike, don't go in too hard on the poor man. Of course, you'd want to be sitting up there in a suit and tie too. Nobody wants to go to court looking like they're guilty. Okay? Nobody wants to do that, do they? I mean, y'all drive a hard bargain. Pio Bunyan said, what about Diddy jewelry? Honey, who wants to sit up there looking like, who wants to sit up there wearing jewelry? I don't think that would be a good look. Do you? Okay, he's not trying to go in there being blinged out. All right, that'll add to the nefariousness of it all. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, y'all's friend Shannon Sharpe, let me tell y'all about him. Powell said Diddy needs his shades too. Why would he need shades in the courtroom? Cookie said, Queen, he's guilty. Y'all think I don't know that Diddy is guilty, or at least think that he is? Okay, please pay attention, honey. I'm the one that's been telling y'all the receipts. Sit down somewhere. Okay, that's right. Panther Strike said, and the broadcast is just getting started. Okay, y'all are. Okay, anyway, let me continue. So with that all being said, listen, do you all know that the young man who played the prank on Shedeur, he's absolutely, well, his father, not him, but his father got fined for that. Now think about how ticked off you would be. Do you know how much that man had to pay? That man has to pay $100,000. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to have to pay it, because he should have had his phone or his tablet in a secured place, knowing that he's got celebrity phone numbers in there. But at the end of the day, he's got to pay $100,000. So can you imagine how upset he is? And then the Falcons have to pay $250,000. Okay, so let's get into it, honey. Now, I'm going to show the video again for those of you who missed it. Maybe you've been under a rock. I'm going to share my screen and show the video of the recording where the young man actually pranked Shedeur. Then talking about he's sorry. He wasn't sorry when he was plotting.
Hey, is this Shedeur? This is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints. How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. Been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're gonna take you with our next pick right here, man.
Let's be legendary.
But you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
What does that mean?
What? What'd he say?
I don't know.
How you gonna ask us what it means and you was on the phone?
You heard that?
You said you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
Sorry about that.
Why did he call?
What the fuck?
That's
I don't know what that was. It's 50-50. But nobody got this number though.
It was private.
Did they just troll, bro?
Okay.
Man, he just got trolled, bro. They tripping now, man. Now I'm gonna crash out, bro.
It is what it is. They said we're gonna tell you what the next bit, but you gotta wait a little bit longer. That's wild. Isn't what it is? Think about it. Makes the story better. The quarterback after the top two, with number one, Cam Ward went one, Jackson Dart went late first. Now he gets the third quarterback off the board. Saints that go
Who?
at the peak. The weather Carolina be up to date favorable.
No, they ain't pick nobody.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, I'm sitting there trying to read the body language of the people. Yeah, me too. I'm looking at Brandon Staley, the defensive coordinator. I'm going, does he look happy? Kellen Moore happy? Which one of these?
Okay, so with that all being said, you know, he wasn't sorry. He came back and apologized because he got into big trouble. That's all that is. At the end of the day, he was stupid enough to record it. And, you know, he was trying to be malicious. I mean, that's something hateful. Okay, that's something that's absolutely hateful to do something like that. But Shedeur wasn't the only person who was pranked. I'll get to that in a second. But here's the news report on the fines that were issued because of the prank.
Investigation into the prank calls made to NFL prospects during this year's draft. It turns out it wasn't just Shedeur Sanders. The list of victims is growing. ABC's Laura Spencer has more.
This morning, the NFL investigating a series of prank calls made to college football stars waiting to hear their names called in the NFL draft.
The Cleveland Browns select Mason Graham.
Alan Graham, the father of Michigan player Mason Graham, who was drafted in the first round by the Cleveland Browns, says his son was also the victim of a prank call. He told the Detroit Free Press that someone made a TikTok while prank calling Mason, showing his number on the video. His phone was getting called nonstop. It's the same thing that happened to Colorado QB Shedeur Sanders, who had to wait until the 5th round of the draft to be picked by the Cleveland Browns. He received this prank call during the 2nd round from a college student pretending to be the GM of the New Orleans Saints.
I'll take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer.
The Atlanta Falcons later posting an apology to the Sanders family, announcing that the person behind the prank was 21-year-old Jax Ulbrich, the son of Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
The team adding that Jax, seen here with a friend making the call, obtained Shedeur Sanders' number off of an open iPad while visiting his parents' home. Jax later posting a message to Shedeur on his Instagram, writing, "I am so sorry I took away from your moment. It was selfish and childish."
The NFL could have thought more about disseminating a popular player's number, but the truth is somehow everybody needs a way to reach that player on draft day. Oftentimes it can be through an agent. In this particular case, his number was widely distributed. It got into the hands of people that it didn't belong with, and it wound up with one of the more unfortunate incidents that we've seen in recent draft memory.
The NFL also investigating a 3rd prank call from this year's draft made to Penn State tight end Tyler Warren. Warren was picked 14th overall by the Indianapolis Colts, but he received a fake call that he was being drafted by the New York Jets, who were picking 7th in the draft. Last year, Iowa's Cooper DeJean received this prank call during the 1st round.
It's a prank. It's a prank.
He was later drafted in the 2nd round by the Philadelphia Eagles.
This is about young college men on the brink of realizing their NFL dreams, getting calls from other college students, mocking them and joking around with them at a time when there's nothing funny about it.
Exactly.
That was ABC's Laura Spencer reporting. The NFL says it is actively investigating the prank calls and looking for ways to make sure it doesn't happen again in the future. It's going to be tough because people have to have that number to make that phone call.
I know, and everyone's looking. I just think it's horrible. It's despicable, cruel.
Yeah, it absolutely is despicable. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, these people that are doing this, okay, in Shedeur's case, the young man didn't know him personally, and he shouldn't even have ever been able to get Shedeur's number because, as I told you, Shedeur didn't give them his regular number. He got a specific phone just for that occasion. And you even hear him in the video clip where he says, nobody has this number because his phone number was only given to GMs of the different different football teams. Okay. So that's how they knew that, at least in his case, it had to be somebody on the inside who did it. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Now, with these other people, that was their college so-called friends. But here's what they should be paying attention to. Anybody who did that to you, laughing and thinking it's a darn prank on a very important day like that, when you have so much at stake and your heart is set on it and all of that, that's not your friend. You see, now they're going to want to be all close to these people because they got drafted, okay? But at the end of the day, anybody who did that to them, they're not their friends, okay? They're not their friends. Now, Panther Strike says, and remember, Boomer Esiason was talking all that smack about Shedeur. He needs to be fired for collusion. Oh, really? Boomer Esiason was talking trash about Shedeur? I did not know that. Thank you for telling me, okay? Thank you for telling me, because I actually used to like Boomer Esiason. He needs to sit down somewhere. That's what he needs to do. Okay. So anyway, but like I said, there was another person who was pranked. They didn't show him on the news because he's a black guy. His name is Abdul Carter. Okay. Now, Shedeur Sanders wasn't the only player to receive a prank call during the 2025 NFL draft. In fact, he wasn't even the best prospect involved in the unfortunate trend. That honor belongs to former Penn State defensive end Abdul Carter, who received a prank call before the New York Giants selected him as number 3 in the overall draft. Carter's agent, Drew Rosenhaus. Now, mind you, Drew Rosenhaus is also Shiloh Sanders' new agent. Okay, remember he fired Dion after that stuff happened with Shedeur. He was like, okay, clearly they don't like my dad, so I'm gonna have to get another agent. So anyway, Drew, at least that's my opinion. Now, Drew Rosenhaus said someone called Carter pretending to be the Jacksonville Jaguars, who traded up to the number 2 spot to select Travis Hunter. Okay, now y'all know Travis Hunter, the one that everybody hates his girlfriend, and he won the Heisman Trophy. But anyway, before that pick was official, the person on the other end of the line told Carter the Jaguars were going to select him with the 2nd round pick of the draft. Carter and Rosenhaus quickly figured out it was a fake call, which saved them from telling Carter's entire family he was going to the Jaguars. Do you see how this can really be so stupid when somebody's doing this? You can announce it to your family, to everybody, friends, and then find out that you didn't even get drafted. Okay, yeah, this is not funny at all. Now, they say the pranks keep coming. It turns out that Abdul Carter also got a prank call during the 2nd pick, in which the caller said he was from the Jaguars and they were going to select him number 2. It's unfortunate that these private numbers are getting out. So while the prank call might have been disappointing, Carter didn't wait long to hear his name called. The Giants took him off the board with the next pick of the draft. Still, the call is yet another disappointing development from the 2025 NFL draft. A number of players, including Carter, Sanders, Indianapolis Colts tight end Tyler Warren, Cleveland Browns defensive tackle Mason Graham, and Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Kyle McCord, all received prank calls during the event. Sanders' call became the most prominent of those pranks after video emerged of the incident. The video, a man called Sanders. Okay, we already know how that went. Okay, we already know how that went. And I'm glad they're getting some type of consequences, because I guarantee you, Ulbrich's father is mad as hell. NFL fines the Falcons $250,000 and Jeff Ulbrich $100,000 over Shedeur Sanders' phone leak. Okay, now Jax Ulbrich, the son of the Falcons DC, and that's defensive coordinator, apologize. And that's another thing. He's not even, like I said, he's not the GM. He's not the head coach. He's a defensive coordinator. So why did he even have Shedeur Sanders' number in the first place? Because Jeff Ulbrich is not the person who makes the calls, even if someone does get drafted by them. So I wonder why he had it in the first place. And maybe that's why he got fined so much. I don't know. But anyway, he got fined $100,000 over the leak of Shedeur Sanders' phone number. Okay, the league confirmed this on Wednesday. Wednesday. Now, Jax Ulbrich, the son of the Falcons DC, apologized for the prank and that he made to Sanders. Okay, and they said, we appreciate the NFL's swift and thorough review of last week's data exposure and the event that transpired due to it. Okay, this is what the Falcons said in a statement that they released on Wednesday. We were proactive in addressing the situation internally and cooperated fully with the league throughout the process and accept the discipline levied to Coach Jeff Ulbrich and the organization. We're confident in our security policies and practices, and we'll continue to emphasize adherence to them with our staff, whether on or off premises. Additionally, the Ulbrich family is working with the organization to participate in community service initiatives in relation to last week's matter. Not community service. Originally, one of the NFL's most touted draft prospects, Sanders received a call allegedly from the general manager of the New Orleans Saints. Okay, we already know that. It's a whole hoax. And so, like I said, and we already know that Jax Ulbrich apologized, but too bad and so sad and too little and too late, because your dad's going to have to pay that $100,000. Okay, at least he gets to keep his job, because they actually could have fired him for something like that. All right. So anyway, that all being said, let's talk about, oh, and by the way, I'm going to play that audio of the YouTuber that said she got emotional about Diddy. I found the timestamp. So let me go ahead and play that real quick before we continue. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
The order and this said the same thing. But when I started to make this video, I realized that there was this enumerated list, and I don't know why. I cannot explain it. I'm not defending it, okay, but I'm just telling the truth. And that is that, like, okay, so like as I'm reading the list, I'm just kind of like imagining like other YouTubers, other content creators, commentary individuals giving their opinion on the internet, whatever, like reading through here and like laughing at Diddy and like clowning on him and like I don't know why I'm emotional over stupid Diddy, y'all. I really don't. I think it's just like, I just can't help it. I see like even though despite, I think Diddy probably did some stuff that is bad. And I think he probably does need to face the consequences of it. It's like, two things can be true. A lot of things can be true. And I just feel like, there was a once upon a time that like Diddy was just a kid and, innocent and stuff. I really believe that. And like what had to happen to him to get him here. And that's definitely not me making any excuse. Y'all hear me say it every video. I think I say it. If you commit a crime, you got to do the time. If you commit a crime, you got to go to jail, whatever, if you're convicted and stuff. So, innocent until proven guilty. But I just kind of like think about also just like how devastating, infuriating, like I'm really surprised, and I'm not saying this in a mean way, like that Diddy hasn't had some type of cardiac event just from the stress. Because I just can't imagine like somebody like that, like just having to like go from the life he had to immediately go into jail. And like that part, I don't necessarily feel.
Okay, so what do you all think about that? What do y'all think about that? She said that she was feeling sorry for Diddy. And none of you all have an ounce of empathy or sympathy. Doreen said, cry me a river. Y'all are just low down. Now, mind you, this is a Caucasian woman. And she feels a little sad for Diddy. Y'all don't feel sad for Diddy at all. For y'all's fellow brother. And that's it. Said, nope. Aubrey said, I felt bad. Somebody said she's crazy. Well, I'm going to tell you all the reason why I paid attention to her, because for some reason I was starting to feel sad for Diddy too. And I was like, wait a minute, why the hell am I sitting up here feeling sad for Diddy? Then all of a sudden I saw a picture of Tupac in my mind's eye. And I was like, oh, hell no. Come back to reality. You can't feel sorry for Diddy. But I'm telling you, I was almost feeling sorry for Diddy. So then when I heard her say, and she was darn near crying. Now I'm like, wait a minute, is Diddy putting voodoo on us or something? What the hell's going on here? What the hell is going on here, Diddy? What are you up to? But seriously, I think I may have felt a small tinge of sadness just because Diddy is a black man who accomplished so much and was always talking about, Miss Sheila said, Queen, snap out of it. I know, right? That's exactly what I said. Nene said the same thing, snap out of it. But I was thinking about, at the end of the day, Diddy is a black man who has accomplished so much, had so many things going for himself, but bottom line is, it's been nefarious and it's time to pay the piper. That's all I'm saying. Okay, please pay attention. Trusno said the same thing with the YouTubers, acting like they know these people in real life. It's not about knowing him in real life. Cookie said, Queen, come back, please. It's not about knowing him in real life, beloved. Not for me. Like I said, it's because he's a black man. And you really, if you have any humanity or if you really care about your people, you really kind of hate to see stuff like this happening. Even if they deserve it and you feel like they do, you still hate to see it because you ask yourself, how did you get here? Even like with Shannon Sharpe, even though I'm going in hard in the paint on Shannon, I feel like Shannon's an old fool. I feel like he just, just played himself. Not so much as Gabby playing him, but he played himself. Like this man had this entire career, a legacy, a Hall of Famer. You've acquired so much. Okay, I was rooting so hard for him with the Cat Williams interview and all of that. But now here we are. And you're going to lose everything that you worked for? This is really sad. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying he didn't deserve some of it. But whoo, honey, that's got to be a tough pill to swallow. I mean, yesterday when I was thinking about everything that Shannon stands to lose, I was like, honey, I can see why some people, when they start going through something so detrimental, why they start looking at other options, honey. Okay? This is all nefarious. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, let me get back into it. Star Child said, Diddy escaped justice for so long, he had enough fun, time to pay. And I believe he cheated us. Black music. Not time to pay. Okay, you're absolutely right, beloved. Doreen said, there's no fool like an old fool. You're right. Shannon is an old fool. And that is sad. That he has to be so stupid. Like I said, honey, just think about it. If he has to give this girl, and I want y'all to really think about this, because I think deep about things sometimes, well, most of the time. But think about this, okay? His children, mind you, his children, okay, Shannon has what, about 3 kids? And if he loses this lawsuit and has to give this girl, Gabby Zuniga, $50 million, that's money he could have given to his children. Okay, did y'all think about that? That's money he could have just given to his children. Okay, generational wealth, $50 million. Okay, I'm sorry, it's all nefarious to me. But hey, sometimes we bring things upon ourselves. And speaking of Shannon, Lord have mercy. Sorry, I didn't know what in the hell happened. Okay, how long was I gone? Somebody put in the chat. I was sitting up here just a-talking. And then and the Inquest said, Queen, reclaim your time. Okay, what the hell happened here? How long was I gone from the screen? Let me see. How long was I gone, you guys? About a minute or two? I hope it wasn't a while. I was just sitting up here reading. Can y'all hear me now? A hot minute? A while? Well, damn. Now I'm going to have to edit the darn video. And I hate when I have to edit the video. Jeff said too damn long. About 4 minutes? Are y'all serious? Gosh darn it. Okay, I don't know what happened. Okay, my apologies, beloveds. Donisha said, that's how you know we love you. Okay, I am so sorry. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to have to edit that out of the darn video. And I hate when I have to edit my videos because it takes away the live chat. Okay, so anyway, let's continue, beloveds. So what I was actually talking about, what was the last thing you all heard? Had I started talking about Shannon Sharpe shortly after starting the Shannon segment? Okay, now I was telling you guys about Shannon and how Stephen A. Smith basically was saying that this all stemmed from the Cat Williams interview. Okay, so I'm just going to go back over that entire little spiel. Okay, because Stephen A. Smith said the same thing that I said. I told you all, I did a whole video about it days ago. I told you all that I felt like Cat Williams, the interview that went viral, that was the reason that Shannon was being targeted, because so many people were upset and angry with him, okay, from the start. And so Stephen A. Smith seems to think the same thing, because here's what he had to say about it. Okay, Stephen A. Smith believes Shannon Sharpe became a target after a viral Cat Williams interview. So Stephen A. Smith is standing firmly behind his First Take co-host, Shannon Sharpe, amid growing controversy, expressing disappointment over the recent public scrutiny and backlash that Sharpe has faced after being hit with an sexual assault allegation. Now, during an interview with radio host Big Boy, Smith addressed the ongoing assault lawsuit filed against Sharpe and how he believes the fervent reaction from some in the media and elsewhere is no coincidence. Okay, I want you all to pay attention, because I absolutely believe the same thing. Okay, he says people have been after him since he did Cat Williams. Okay, referring to the explosive interview in which Williams delivered unfiltered takes on various celebrities and his career, garnering millions of views within days of its release in January of 2024. He says they've been at his neck because of the numbers he produced and the success that it had, and how he was able to ride that wave. Smith didn't shy away from calling out what he sees as a malicious wave of backlash aimed at Sharpe. While acknowledging that public discussion of the lawsuit is inevitable, Smith criticized the tone and the energy some critics have brought to the conversation. He says, I'm not talking about what people are talking about and what they have to talk about. I'm talking about the zest in which they do it, he stated. Y'all hear that? He didn't say the zest, did he? Okay? Like some people are gleeful, basically. Okay, he says, you see the joy that some people are having and going at him, and that's sad. You can talk about it, but we know the difference in terms of the flavor that you're bringing to an equation where you're talking about somebody with glee and joy in your voice when you're talking about the kind of predicament they're in. And that's what I've got a problem with. Smith concluded by sharing his concern not only for Sharpe personally, but for the impact this could have on First Take. To see the great things that he has been doing and to know the potential is out there for all of this to be derailed, I'm incredibly sad for him. Okay, how many of you guys are sad for Shannon? How many of you all feel a little bit of empathy or sympathy for Shannon? One's in the chat. Does anybody have an ounce of sympathy? Does anybody feel like, you feel bad that he may lose everything? I mean, I kind of feel bad, like I said, that he's potentially going to lose everything that he's worked so hard for in his career. But at the same time, I have to just call him stupid, because he brought this all on himself. I mean, he literally handed them the rope to hang him with, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so most people don't give a darn. Okay, well, y'all are entitled to your opinions. Now, he says he feels incredibly sad for him. He says, I'm sad for us as a show, because we're better with him than without him. But right now, it's about him getting his house in order and doing what he can to get past all of this. Now, Sharpe's massively viral Club Shay Shay interview with comedian Cat Williams, which aired in January of 2024, quickly became a cultural moment, positioning Club Shay Shay as a dominant force and elevating Sharpe's public profile significantly. Sharpe, a former NFL star turned sports commentator, has been embroiled in controversy since a lawsuit was filed against him by Jane Doe, who alleges that he sexually assaulted her after they had been dating in 2023 when the alleged victim was 19 years old. Now, the $50 million lawsuit, which publicly surfaced in April of 2025, includes serious accusations that have not only sparked widespread media attention, but also cast a shadow over Sharpe's reputation and burgeoning media career. Okay, yeah, it certainly has. It certainly has. But here's the thing. Now, there was an article that came out where somebody just flat out is telling a lie. Now, I want you all to pay attention. I don't know why some people feel the need to be so malicious that when a person is already going through something, they want to just throw fuel on the fire and try to make it even worse than what it is. Okay, so now there's somebody came out and told this story that has not been confirmed. There's no evidence to prove its validity. I think it's a whole lie. But they're saying that Shannon actually met the girl at a Diddy party when she was 17. And they say that this was a tweet posted by Shannon's former bodyguard or something, and that's now been deleted. Now listen to the foolishness. It says a now deleted tweet from Shannon Sharpe's bodyguard claims that he met his girl at a Diddy party when she was 17. Okay, but where is the proof? Where is the proof? A deleted tweet purportedly from Shannon Sharpe's bodyguard ignited a social media frenzy with allegations involving Diddy and Cat Williams. The unverified claims suggest Sharpe met his partner at a Diddy party when she was underage, but there's no credible evidence or confirmation. Okay, just the internet speculation linking the rumor to Williams' previous comments on Club Shay Shay. Okay, so they say, you know, it's a wild day online when Shannon Sharpe, Diddy, and Cat Williams all end up in the same conspiracy theory. Okay, so anyway, they say this bodyguard supposedly posted this, saying the girl was 17 or whatever. But here's the twist: the tweet can't be found anywhere now. No one's verified who wrote it, and the internet is spiraling over screenshots that may not even be real. Okay, Shannon Sharpe's bodyguard shady tweet, no receipts, and a whole lot of internet chaos, they say. That's what somebody says. And yeah, they actually have a picture of it. I'm not going to show it because at the same time they're showing it, they're showing Gabby Zuniga with her cheeks out. Okay. So it's somebody named Saka Zumba. Okay, Big Saka, and it's spelled Z-H-A-K-A. Now it says FNDA. That ninja Shannon met his hoe at a Diddy party when she was 17. That's just somebody being stupid, in my opinion. Okay, where do people get? I mean, some people just really have too much time on their hands. All right. So anyway, like I said, I'm not going to show it because that girl's cheeks are out, and I'm not trying to have any issues with ScrewTube. But nonetheless, now here is something that really happened, and people are going in on Shannon about this as well. Okay, it has been said, hold on, Star Child says he could be a disgruntled employee. He deleted it immediately. Right, could be. Okay. Ebony said, I'm tired of Diddy being blamed for everything. Diddy was not at his parties alone. Exactly. Just like I told you all months ago. A lot of these people talking about they were at the parties and left early. Honey, y'all lying. Somebody was there late. Please miss me with it. Okay. So, but here's the thing. They're talking about Shannon Sharpe because they said that he had what they're calling a mini crash out. Okay. He had a mini crash out supposedly on Nightcap. And they're really going in on him because they're saying that this shows that Shannon has a propensity towards anger and violence, okay, which has already been alleged by his accusers. Shannon Sharpe brings more negative attention to himself after a mini crash out during Nightcap, okay? Shannon Sharpe has already received a lot of scrutiny from the internet since the Grape lawsuit surfaced, and this is only making it worse. Now, with Shannon Sharpe now having to shift his focus to his hefty Grape lawsuit, things are going to be a lot different. What we mean by this is the public eye is constantly going to keep a watchful eye on his actions. Of course, people can argue that he's innocent until proven guilty. However, at the same time, folks take these kinds of allegations seriously. Just ask Diddy. So going forward, Shannon Sharpe is going to have to try and maintain his composure and move cautiously. Unfortunately, he had a small slip up during the most recent episode of his second show, Nightcap. In a clip obtained by the Neighborhood Talk, he, along with co-host Chad Ochocinco and guest former NBA wing Joe Johnson, were discussing a topic about Shedeur Sanders. As he was given a personal story that related to the subject at hand, he was interrupted by someone off screen. Whoever was making noise couldn't be heard on our end, but Shannon Sharpe certainly could. There's a chance that it could have been someone talking in his earpods, but it seems more plausible that someone else was in the room or nearby where he records. And so this is what Shannon did. And this is what they're talking about. Hold on. It said Shannon had a mini crash out. Okay, likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to put an overlay on this also. Okay. Don't want any copyright issues.
I only heard from two teams. Guess what the two teams they called me, Ocho, say, what's your phone number? Where you going to be?
Who that?
Shut the fuck up. Next door. Cincinnati Bengals was one. I only heard from two teams. Guess what the two teams they called me, Ocho, say, what's your phone number? Where you going to be?
Who that?
Shut the fuck up. Next door.
Okay. Now, do you all think that was a bit much? Do y'all think that was a bit much? I mean, that's pretty angry because somebody's making noise. Could have just said, excuse me, could you be quiet? I mean, could the people even hear him? If that were his next door neighbors, they likely couldn't even hear him. Now, if they were in the same room, because he said it was his next door neighbors, but they said in the article that maybe somebody was in the same room. I don't know, but nonetheless, he was ticked off. He was ticked off. Okay, so D Major says, I don't believe in holding people's past against them, but first they need to actually change or be in the process of changing. But that's just me. Well, you know, what past are we holding them against them, beloved? It depends for me on what you did in the past, okay? Now, if you're a murderer, right? I'm not going to look past the fact that you killed somebody, depending on why you killed them. Okay, if you killed somebody in self-defense, that's one thing. But if you literally killed somebody with malicious forethought, honey, yeah, I'm going to definitely hold that against you. And I won't be going anywhere with you alone. Okay, please pay attention. Terry Hinn says, it's given Shannon is losing his mind. Nah, he just has a bad temper, I think. Sweet D said he snapped right back into character, okay? D Major said, right, I'm speaking in general. Okay, yeah, I get you, beloved. You know, really, we shouldn't hold, there are some things that we definitely shouldn't hold against people. Because first of all, when we're young and foolish, there's no telling what some of us do. And then do we really want that to come back and haunt us as we get older? I'm sorry. What y'all think? Aubrey says there ain't nothing a lot of people in the world have probably said. That ain't nothing. A lot of people in the world have probably said something like that. Yeah, they have. But I get what they're saying, that people are going to be looking at him very watchful or whatever. You know how the internet is, honey. Try to find anything, you know, to have to have a reason to say something. Okay. So anyway, let's talk about Diddy's jury selection. Let's talk about Diddy's jury selection, honey, for the S trafficking. Jeff ATL said that wasn't no mini crash out. That was a crash out. Lawyer says that Snow Bunny liked it and wanted to have a baby by him, as the tapes reveal. Yeah, she did. She wanted to have the baby so she could get money, okay? But now she's figured out a way to get money without having a baby, okay? Because he wouldn't give her one. Okay, please pay attention. I told y'all it's clearly a shakedown. No doubt about it as far as I'm concerned, okay? Now let's go to this news report about Diddy's jury selection. And I also have some of the questions that the prosecution was going back and forth with Diddy's defense about some of these questions or whatever. I'm not going to go through it because it was just a bit much. I already read you all the questions last time, but these are some of the changes they want to make, and I really don't feel like going through it.
Trafficking and racketeering trial begins next week. Today, though, it's an important day because his defense team and the prosecution begin the process of cutting down the jury pool from 600 people to just 12 as they look for impartial jurors. Good day's Briella Tomasetti is here this morning with the very latest. It's a tough job, Briella. Good morning.
Yeah, sure is, Dan. And 600 men and women spent the week filling out jury surveys containing between 20 and 70 questions. In today's last pretrial hearing, lawyers on both sides will send in lists of jurors that are acceptable and unacceptable to them. They have to whittle down that list to just 12 jurors and 6 alternates next week, starting on Monday. In September, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs was indicted on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, racketeering and transportation to engage in prostitution. He was arrested at a Manhattan hotel where he had been staying in anticipation of his eventual indictment. Prosecutors allege that Combs used his business empire to conduct freak-offs, which they describe as highly orchestrated sex performances. They also claim Combs used his power and influence to force women into participating. The trial is expected to last several weeks or longer and could potentially feature some high-profile witnesses. A judge ruled yesterday that Combs can wear non-prison clothing in the trial. He's allowing up to 5 button-down shirts, pants, sweaters, socks, and shoes without laces to be worn in the courtroom. The same judge ruled that the 2016 surveillance video of Cassie Ventura being beaten by Combs can be admitted in court. Alleged victims will be allowed to remain anonymous and use pseudonyms if they wish. Jury consultant Faye Honig weighing in on the importance of jury selection.
Makeup of the jury is incredibly important. It dictates the conversations that the jurors are going to have. It dictates the amount of time that they're really going to be able to take and look at the evidence and be willing to say, you know, I may not like everything that's going on, but the government hasn't proven it beyond a reasonable doubt.
And speaking of that in-person jury selection, it all starts on Monday. Potential candidates will be called into a private room to be questioned one by one by prosecutors and defense lawyers. Dan, back to you.
All right, Briella, thank you very much. So much at stake. Rent Guidelines Board in a preliminary vote proposed an increase for stabilized apartments. Good Day's Robert Moses has the details from Sunnyside.
All right, so you all heard that. Terry says, will he be able to dye his hair? Well, that's a good question, but I doubt it, beloved. I seriously doubt it. I know he would love it if they did. Okay. But you know what I was going to tell you all is, did you all see the look? Hold on. I'm going to show that Shannon Sharpe video again. The inquest said Diddy's hair looks Snow White. Okay, well, that's just what happens when we get old. Okay. Listen, I'm going to show that video of Shannon again when he's going off or whatever. I want you all to look at the man's face, not Ocho, but the other guy that's sitting there. I want you all to look at his face. Okay. Joe Johnson. I think that's his name. I'm going to share my screen again. Now, mind you, I'm not going to play the audio, okay? Because I don't want to have to use an overlay, because I want you all to see the look on the man's face when Shannon curses. Okay, I hope you all can see that. Did y'all see the look on that man's face? Did y'all see the look on his face? That was hilarious to me. He was smiling at first until Shannon did that. Yeah, Shannon, control your temper, honey, because everybody's watching you at this point. Okay, Janine said, yeah, I didn't agree with that surprise witness. Okay. Oh, you mean it's as far as feeling sad for Diddy? Okay. D Major said there's people who are younger with white hair too. Yeah, that's true. Some people have premature gray hair. Absolutely. Like, what's that comedian's name? Steve Martin. Steve Martin has always had white hair. Okay, even when he was young. He was born with it, I guess. So anyway, with that all being said, I'm out of here. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed the broadcast. Everyone, please like, share, subscribe. Okay, if you haven't done so already, be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time Queen Goddess goes live. Now, for those of you who follow the spiritual channel, we're going to be on there at 11:30. Okay, we're going to be on the spiritual channel at 11:30. So please be sure to tune in. I did post something for members. No, I didn't. Let me stop lying. I'm going to post something for members only today also, okay? It's going to be another old master class. All right, my old master classes, I'm reposting some of them for members only. Okay, and then we're going to start the new master classes next month. Okay, so with that all being said, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Don't forget, you know I'll be back later, okay, with the lifelines, the politics, and all of that, okay? So enjoy the rest of this day. Right? Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. And until next time, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
With that gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got